Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Court of Swords. I believe the 85th episode. I don't actually know if that's true or not. So I'm sure the fact checkers will figure it out and call me a liar or the smartest human being of all. One of those two. It can't be anywhere in between. Max, welcome back to the show. Who's this Shadrick fellow? What's going on? What's happening? Where's Berg?
Berg is he's dead, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We were gonna try to do a whole thing about it, but I'm just gonna tell you he's dead. He's dead. I'm never gonna play him again.
He's dead.
So don't talk to me about Berg.
Killed off camera.
People,
Yeah.
I find that people love it when you take their favorite character and you just kill them in between
And
seasons.
you just killed him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Welcome
tripped
back,
over a
everyone. Your
rock.
favorite character is dead.
And he fell on a really crazy sword. It was just there. It was just standing up. He was inspecting it, and then he tripped over on the way over. It was just blah, right in the heart, dead. No chance of revival. Special magic properties.
Yeah. Yeah, it happened. Glad to have you back. What was that?
Yeah,
What was
it's good
that,
to be
Adam?
back.
Adam had a quip.
I was
He's thinking it. He was like, I'm just going to
no,
let
I
that
was,
one go.
I was laughing. I was laughing about chat. Somebody in chat said that Berg fell off his patio, which I thought was pretty good.
Onto a sword.
Yeah, onto a sword. That just happened to be laying there. Yeah, exactly.
Specifically right through his ankle, which is much like Achilles. It was like right into his heel, and that was just the thing that was keeping Berg alive. It was
Totally. Yeah, that's how it goes. Max, I want to talk to you about this Call of Duty BR situation.
yeah.
Because why the fuck am I excited about... I played for like 2 hours off stream today. A Call of Duty game. A console Call of Duty BR game.
It wasn't bad, was it?
In 2018.
It wasn't bad.
Wow.
It's not bad.
It's actually really good, especially for a beta. Like,
What the
I mean,
fuck?
I know their betas are like, we're right about to release the game, but we're gonna call this a beta.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's good. It's really good.
It's really good. Yeah.
It's above and beyond what I expected. I thought it was gonna be good when I found out it was Treyarch, and when I realized like, oh, okay, well, if they're shooting for Call of Duty gunplay and tightness and that sort of genre of shooting and all that, and then just mix that with a little bit of PUBG like landscape and VR-ness, it works. And it run minus a few drops here and there as far as like the server crashing on you or whatever randomly. Did you have that happen at all or no?
Yeah, a couple, but
It happened a little bit, but not enough to be like unplayable. I thought it was going to be like really bad. I thought it was going to be something, whether it be like chugging, frame drops, real bad glitches or something like that, because this is their first time. This is their first like foray into this land. That was the big unknown for me. I'm like, they've never made a map that's this big and, trying to have the lofty goals of having it still run like the way the COD should, But fuck, man, they're doing it.
it runs pretty well.
It's exciting. I'm fucking stoked to play it on PC. That's trouble for PUBG. That's what it is right there.
Well, PUBG's already in. Did you see today they dropped below 1 million players for the first time in a year?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. Well, I'm saying it's just not good timing because I know PUBG's kind of had they're starting to feel the heat a little bit, as it were, as far as competitors and their player base and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
I've always been true variety, so bring on more AAA BRs if you want to, as long as they bring something different to it. I'm down to try it.
I agree.
Especially the fact that it's on console. It ran that good.
Yeah,
Right.
it's surprising how it's sad that it, and I tweeted this yesterday. It's sad that it's surprising because we're so used to fucking awful like early access bullshit BR games where they're just bad and we're like, it's whatever. It's early access. I mean, what can we expect, right?
That's why I was kind of hopeful because, I mean, outside of, if you want to call, Epic is a AAA dev, right? Whatever. But outside of Fortnite, that was like a pivot, right? From their original Save the World, all that stuff. But outside of them, who else has really dropped a AAA BR? Unless I'm wrong, is there another one out there that I'm not thinking of?
Fortnite could be considered one. So
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. Fortnite considered because it's made by Epic, but that was a pivot. You know what I mean? It was
Right.
that wasn't like, hey, we're making a BR. This was Treyarch being like, yeah, we're making a BR, and it's the first one. I would call it the first official like AAA release of a BR, and it's surprisingly good.
It's good.
So,
it's fun. Yeah. I'm definitely enjoying it. Zeke, I would say your interest in PUBG. Have you ever been a big Call of Duty person? Have you ever just played Call of Duty multiplayer, Zeke, at all? Just for fun?
At all?
Yeah, like
At
just for
all?
fun and found fun in it?
Like years ago?
Yeah.
Yes. When Modern Warfare 2, I sunk probably a couple hundred hours in playing Modern Warfare 2 online.
Yeah. Okay. I would say check it out, dude. It's actually like it's pretty good. It's I think you would find fun in it just like you did in PUBG for sure.
All right.
Because you can be like I'm pretty bad at consoles. Like I used to be able to play console FPSs decently well back in the day, but now old age has addled my skill with a controller, and so I'm just running about like shooting the sky, fucking yippee-ki-yay, and then I get sniped by some fucking badass guy with a bunch of X's in his name, and you know I start over again. But it's still fun. Like I'm still having fun with it, so I would say check it out. It's pretty good.
All right.
Max, besides the COD BR, what else you been doing? You muted yourself. You're still working on that whole mic skill. Still.
Mime skills, okay? I was talking I was mouthing that entire time. I wasn't muted, okay?
Yeah.
No, Spider-Man like everybody else, honestly. I'm trying to think there's something else that I was playing in there. Shit. Spider-Man. That's good.
Spider-Man's a good
probably
game.
Talk that shit to death. But...
We haven't actually like talked. I mean, we've all played it, but we haven't talked about it.
Oh,
we
yeah.
haven't
We
had
probably haven't
frames
really
yet.
talked about it on cast too much other than just like playing it.
But you can tune
Really
in
good.
tomorrow to join me, Max, Bike Man, and Zeke to talk on Drop Frames at 1 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be great.
See me twice on your channel, JP.
Yeah, we've got Max for 7 hours tomorrow, and it's costing me a lot of... It's going to be fun.
Disturbing.
Yeah, exactly, Dad.
Who's excited?
Yeah. No, Spider-Man's a good game. Did you finish it yet, Max?
I have not, no.
Okay.
I'm probably like 11 to 14, maybe 11 to 13 hours in, which I heard it's like 20 hours long, so I can't have that much. But also it's dependent on how the pace with which you like pursue the side mission stuff and the collectibles, on whether or not, you know, how far you're progressing the game story-wise. I've heard it's not super long, like story-wise, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Is it really long? Does it drag on or no?
It took me 6 hours, or no, 7 hours, 6 hours, and 4 hours, so 3 streams, so about 15-ish. I didn't do any side. I did like maybe one side mission though. I mainlined the story, so
Oh, yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if you mainline the story, it's not too bad. But since you were saying that with the story, like you mainlined the story and it took you 16-ish hours, you said?
Yeah. There's a lot. Like you think there's moments where it's like, oh, okay, well this is, I guess that's kind of a soft ending. And then it's like, no, you still have about 5 more hours to go. You still have a little bit more.
Yeah. The thing that impressed me with that, and I'm sure I'll say this tomorrow, is just the attention and level of detail to the game in general. Like the thing that got me, there's a couple things obviously that got me, but like the fact that they have multiple takes for the lines of whether or not Spider-Man's exerting himself. Like if he's on a call and he's like, you know, swinging around, it'll be like, yeah, what do you need, Aunt May? Like, you know, like he'll, you know, but if he's just chilling, he'll be like, hi, Aunt May, how's it going? And then another one was, I was talking to the Yuri Watanabe, you know, like the captain from the police department that you kind of work with throughout the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the process of picking up one of those collectible backpacks where, you know, there's some dialogue like, oh, look, this is the horn that I grabbed off of Rhino, or whatever, some crap like that. And so it went from there, and then I went back, and then it was like, hey, sorry, yeah, I'm back now. Like, I was like, what the fuck? The game was like aware of the fact that you know, did that, and they had a whole system in place. And like from a dev standpoint, that shouldn't be too hard to do anyways, but it's just like you don't really get that a lot. It usually just like picks back up, or they like, you know, dial back the conversation like 3 seconds or something like that and goes right back into it. But it was kind of cool how they just, you know, seamlessly made that go back in. So it felt like he actually was taking a moment off the phone.
Yeah, it's just refreshing, I think, to see polish in an industry that is all about get it out as fast as possible because we have a fucking deadline. And they're like, no, we're actually going to sit here and polish this game for a long time.
For a single player game, especially because that's rare shit now. You know, genuinely good single player experiences are pretty few and far between for us now. So So when you see that a single player game that's already pretty good and they have that extra layer of polish and like, attention to detail, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's very clear that they cared about this game.
Totally. Yeah. Dan, I know you played Spider-Man as well. You pretty much echo everything we're saying. You into it?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, it gave me that like feeling of when I played Arkham Asylum for the first time. Just like that giddy feeling of learning all Spider-Man's moves and stuff. I love that it felt like Batman, but was very Spider-Man specific.
Totally.
Like there's no countering, like, and so Spider-Man just dodges instead as he would. Like
Right.
they really nail like his combat style versus Batman.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like a clone of Batman.
I agree. Yeah. I also think too, and I'll definitely get some hate for saying this. I think in the games, Spider-Man was a more interesting character by about 1 billion times than Batman ever was. Because Batman's just like, I'm Batman. My parents died. You've heard this before. Let's talk about it. I'm a broody motherfucker. Yeah. And Spider-Man's like, it just had depth to his character. Like it was fleshed out in that entire game. It was great.
And he cracks jokes, unlike Batman. Which
yeah.
He's very serious all the time.
Yeah. I thought of you, Dan, when he was cracking all these like, oh God, he just said,
The thing,
like Dan's got to be loving this.
Yeah.
The thing is, too, is that Spider-Man is like a person, and Batman feels to me like, for the most part, kind of a caricature.
Sure.
Right? Where like Batman is like you said, like kind of one note, and it's like, well, here's his deal. He can't really show vulnerable. He can't have emotions. He's just this like, he's like Geralt. But Spider-Man is allowed to like goof up and like make mistakes and like stumble, and he's still learning to be a superhero, and he's a teenager, and so it makes him a lot more accessible as a character versus like angry rich guy. You're like, okay, Batman, I don't know what your life is like.
I'm gonna get you, Joker.
Yeah,
it's nice to actually play during the day, unlike Batman when it's always night.
Right. Yeah.
It goes out during the day.
Well, that's the other like, and I think someone mentioned this in my stream, and I didn't think about it, but in D&D terms, like Spider-Man's pretty much like lawful good. Like he's just the straightest, goodest character that I've played in games in a long time. And most people like that's a boring fucking character to play, but they did a great job with it.
So what's interesting, the difference between Batman, I mean, there's many, but the difference in that case between Batman and Spider-Man is that when the cops, because in both of their stories, the cops go after them, right? They're like, oh, Batman's a vigilante. There's storylines where they're like, we're gonna get Batman. And Batman is like, fuck you, I'm Batman. But when the cops are coming after Spider-Man, he's like, whoa, hold on. Like, we're on the same team. We're friends. I live in the same neighborhood as you. Let's get along. And he like worries about it and he cares. But Batman is just like, I'm super rich. Fuck off, and he flies off in his batarang.
Yeah.
So it's cool watching Spider-Man try to be a superhero and try to exist in a like world that's like hard. And he, again, the other thing is like he has nothing to fall back on, right? Like Batman gets to go back to his giant ass mansion and get fucking hand jobs from his butler when the day's done. But Spider-Man got to go to school. He's a real person. He's a kid.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And this one he's like. Have you played this, Adam? I think you should play Spider-Man. I think
I'm going to,
actually,
yeah.
The
Yeah.
photo mode in it
I'm
is
starting
right
it
up your alley. It's a
Yep.
really good photo mode.
It's going to take me forever to finish because of that.
There's a suit later on in the game that's cell shaded, and for whatever reason, when you get this suit and you walk around, and I'll show footage of it tomorrow on Drop Frames. When you're walking around in the cell shaded suit, it makes the graphics of the game look real. Like it looks like the best video game I've ever seen ever when you're walking around in this stupid dumb cell shaded suit because it looks so cartoony and good.
Right.
Like it looks like the animated show, but then the like conflict or whatever of the actual thing trying to look real behind it looks even realer. It's a really odd looking thing that I hope people start fucking around with the
super cool.
Yeah, the photo mode with it because it looks crazy. Yeah, the contrast. Yeah. It looks cool. There's a lot of fun stuff
awesome.
in that game.
I'm excited.
Sure. Yeah, it's good stuff.
That suit looked so awesome that I was like wanting a comic book art style game like that. Yeah. It nailed the shadowing. It looked so good. It looked hand drawn and dynamic enough to be 3D at the same time. It was great.
It was, yeah. I was blown away by that. Like I'm sad that I only had that suit like in the last. And again, you can get that suit. I wouldn't say near the end of the game, but you can get it before the end of the game. And I had it like right before the last mission because I didn't do very much side stuff. And so then I was like, well, I got 5 minutes with it, but it was a really good 5 minutes. I wish I had it for more in the game because it was really cool. for sure. But let's stop gabbing about that. Let's talk about serious stuff now. Let's talk Dragon Quest 11, Dan. How's it going?
Yeah, Dan, how is it?
I'm 6
I
hours
love
in
it.
and dreading the 80 plus in front of me. So how's yours life?
I love it. It's the best turn-based JRPG since Persona 5 for me, personally.
Ooh.
I would
I
agree.
really like like it fixes problems that other games that I really liked. Like I really liked Royal Final Fantasy, but that game is just way too easy. This game has a hard mode with monsters really challenging and keep the game tough. And it's like last night I had rage quit because I went from one boss, got destroyed, the other boss in the place got destroyed again. But today I came back, I beat them both. I had to change my tactics and stuff. It like keeps you on your toes. You have to think about every ability you have and what you do to change the dynamic of the fight, which I love that kind of thing. That's what I like about turn-based, like the tactical thinking about how to beat it. Not brute force it, but how to tactically beat it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. There was we got most of what you were saying, but there was some cut up in there. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
I agree with
I
everything.
thought that was me.
No, that wasn't just you, Zeke. I think your connection is infecting the call, though. You're the start of
It
all
is.
this, and it's bringing everyone else down, Zeke. All right.
No, listen. In the year 2037, they're going to be talking about the Spectrum virus that infected the entire world,
Your
and
patient
where
zero.
machines took over because humans couldn't communicate with each other because they couldn't get a good Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and also apparently the stream just won't load for people, so that's a cool, fun thing. I don't know if that's Twitch or that's me. Who knows? You know, we're not sure. But
It's working for a lot of people, so it's probably just Twitch's end.
okay, that's
Going down in certain areas.
yeah, it's just Twitch's end. I agree. Fuck you, Twitch. Fix your shit. All right, it's not me. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. From what I could make out from what you said about Dragon Quest 11, it's good, and I'm also excited that it's like unbelievably long because I can go and play a game and come back to it, play it for 30 hours, play another game, come back to it.
And it's really beautiful in a completely different kind of way from Spider-Man. Like the hand-drawn graphic style is really nice. The only thing I don't like about the game is the music.
It's fucking awful.
MIDI.
It's so bad.
Yeah. It's
so
MIDI
bad,
and it
Dan.
repeats over and over and over and over. It's if you haven't turned music down to 30%, it helps a lot. It makes it more backgroundy and less blaring in your face.
He has one goddamn instrument in his arsenal. It's that fucking trumpet, and it's there for the entire time you're playing the fucking game on loop.
Yep.
It's annoying as shit. The opening
Yeah.
is in like a symphony orchestra thing, but you were saying like it's part of his contract where he makes all of the songs MIDI or some shit.
The guy's like super conservative and super like hardcore copyright protection. He's very weird, and like they can't release the orchestra music he did outside of Japan because of some certain agreements they have with him. So he's a very weird person.
Yes,
That's pretty much it, though. It's him.
Yeah.
The original composer.
that asshole. But I am enjoying it. Yeah, I'm playing on PC. You're playing on the PC or the PS4. It's 30 on PS4, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I uncapped the FPS, so I'm getting like 144 now, and so the game it never drops from that. So it's a weird port because it never drops from 144, but when you go to close the game, it's a Windows prompt. Like they didn't stylize it's just a Windows like, do you want to close this application? So they did good things and then they just did odd things after that.
Japan is learning about their ports. They're this year and last year they've been trying real hard. They're getting better, but some are still behind, like this developer.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing. Besides Spider-Man and Dragon Quest, you play anything else?
I think that's been it for the last week.
Okay, Dragon Quest it's a long game, so I know you've been playing a lot of it. I asked you last night if that was the final dungeon. You're like, no, I'm about halfway through, and I just got real sad because it's so long.
But there's so much content, JP.
I know there's so much content, but you've been playing for like 40 plus hours. How much of that was gambling, though? Let's be real here. How much have you spent in the casino?
I spent 3 hours in the slot machine, as it was great.
Okay, all right.
Japan knows how to make fun slot machines in games. It's really good.
Go watch if you want to see a funny clip. Go watch Dan's channel. Just sort by most viewed. I think it's still up there.
Yep.
There's a fun Sloth clip for sure. Zeke, how's Donut?
Yes, sir.
How's that Donut game? Is that good? What
Donut County game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was short, but very charming. The sense of humor is pretty great. I actually had the chance to interview Ben Espinoza.
Yeah.
But I had
That
a chance
sounds
to interview him at E3, and he was a really cool guy. And he showed me his game, and I was like, "Really? I mean, it's just you just move like a hole in the ground." And he's like, "Yeah, man, pretty cool, right?" And I went, "All right, okay, sure." But I mean, it's kind of absurd. There's a lot of like talking animals. I think there's only one human in the game, and I mean, basically, you go around and try and figure out how to swallow up everything in the particular level with this hole in the ground. And one of the cool things about it is when you swallow items, it adds it to your like lexicon of things that you've seen throughout the game, and it describes the items that you see like a raccoon would describe it. Like you see like a garbage can, and the raccoon describes it like, this is the gold standard where you eat. And it's just really fun. But it was short, but it was cool. I mean, I'll talk about it more tomorrow, I'm sure.
Yeah. I
Or
definitely
at least we'll
have some
show some
questions.
clips and whatnot. But
How's adjusting to the default world? Are you fully back? Are you back completely?
yeah, I'm still reminded of the burn because of my tailbone has not completely healed yet,
Yeah.
and I still have some
What happened?
cuts and scrapes and stuff. What happened? Well,
Yeah.
I went down a big slide with my eyes closed because I'm super smart.
Right. 'cause
And
you
when I
lost
got
your
to
eye.
the end of the slide, I went up and just went right on my tailbone. Yeah,
That's the worst.
It sucked.
Right on the coccyx.
Yeah. So
Those suck for a while. I used to have that sometimes when I was snowboarding. Go off a jump, land right on your fucking butt.
yep.
You just walk weird. Are you still walking weird or?
I'm not walking weird, but definitely every time I sit down, it's terrible.
Yeah. You got a
So
butt pillow?
I'm sitting on a donut. Yeah, I got a donut.
That's the
donut
way
I'm
to do
sitting
it.
on. Yeah. So I can make it. I can make it.
That's good.
I played a couple of other games, but we'll talk about those tomorrow. I played
I didn't.
2
I
Point
didn't
Hospital.
probe too much. So
Yeah.
yeah.
2 Point Hospital is great, and also I played what else did I play? There was another one. Oh, 7 Billion Humans. Oh, that's all Indie Sunday stuff. So we'll talk about that later. But yeah,
Okay.
nothing super exciting going on in my actual life, except for my ISP is, God, just a joy, just a treat.
Yeah. As they are.
Yeah. Oh
As-
yeah.
they're just
It
the
reads
best.
like someone who is trying to revive, like a patient who is having heart failure. Like that's what my Ethernet like connection looks like. It's like, oh, we lost him. Oh, he's back. Like that's what it looks like, and it's fucking. I mean, it's the worst feeling in the world because it's not something that I can actually physically fix on my end. It's nothing I can do. We replaced all of the hardware and everything, so I don't want to complain. I want to have some fun today, so I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Gotcha. What? I don't know what. Apparently something's being brought into my office. Oh, okay. Well, don't show that on stream. Thank you.
Don't show it on stream.
Package that came?
Huh?
The other package that came today? Where'd you put it?
It's upstairs somewhere.
So how you guys doing?
Yeah, I don't know. That was weird. Sorry.
I'm on the internet, Mom. I'm on the internet. Don't bother me.
Yeah.
I'm talking with my friends.
Oh
Basically
man,
what that was.
so many memories.
Yeah. By the way, Zeke, Austin is like, if you're looking to move, it's the young hip area. But if you want to be near the old folks, St. Louis is where it's at. All right, we're starting something. I'll hit you up after.
We're starting something.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. I'm not joking, by the way. I will definitely message
Oh,
you
really?
after this.
Oh,
There are plans in motion.
I thought you were. It's the hip place. We're gonna do stuff.
Yeah. Last but not least, Mr. Adam Coble.
That's me.
What have you been up to?
What's going on? I finished Yakuza 0. Well, finished it. I got to the point where I was like, I'm done with this game. I'm going to finish the story. And then like 2 hours later, the story was over. But yeah, I finished it. It was good. It's 45 hours and like 30% complete. I think.
Jesus.
So there's a lot in that game, to be fair. Like a lot of like extra shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, and chat as you do. I'm in like the last fight, and people are like, "Why isn't Adam using the other fighting style?" And I'm like, "Oh, you mean the one that would have taken me like 27 hours to get?" Yeah, that's why. Because I don't. No, thank you. I'm good. I just want to experience the game and not hate it by the end.
Yeah.
But that's cool. It was super fun. I've got like a week or so to kill, kind of in the middle, where I gotta find a game that I can play that's not gonna take too long, because I'm gonna play Kingmaker when it comes out on the 25th. I'm really excited about that game. I played the alpha. You guys know about this? Have you played Kingmaker? Do you know about this game?
No.
So it's like Baldur's Gate basically, but it's like a modern game, and it's built on the
Yes.
Pathfinder engine. And yeah, I played the alpha when it came out, and it was like really it was really tight already. So I'm really excited to see like the polished, finished version of the game. And I guess there's like you do the Baldur's Gate like adventuring stuff, but then you go back and you build like a town. Basically, you're a king, so you have a castle and you assign your various. So there's a bit of like a kingdom management thing to it. Yeah, it looks cool. I'm
Nice.
excited about that, but I gotta like fill this. I was thinking about starting Spider-Man, but I remembered there's a photo mode, so I'm kind of just like, because I'm just gonna spend 8 hours straight
And
just being like, I'm just gonna take pictures of these things.
To go back to it for a second, the world is so detailed that you can go and read warning stickers on the side of like a cake mixer thing. And
Yeah,
the warning
right.
stickers are like full, just a goof. It's just a big ass goof on the side of it. But that's how like detailed that world is. So
Yeah, I'm
It's kinda
really
like
excited.
a level of detail with that kind of stuff.
So do you have control over like, so for me the high watermark for photo modes is 100% Horizon, right? And in Horizon you can control like where the sun is, like you can adjust the time of day and like basically like pull in and out the NPCs. Like how much control do you have in Spider-Man, or is it just like a fancy screenshot engine?
that I don't. I think they
you
took
can
it a
take away
different way.
Spider-Man.
Oh, you
I
can.
don't know if you can take out. I don't think you can take out NPCs. You can definitely get rid of Spider-Man if you just want to have like the shot clear from, you know. But again, you can also just free cam it too, up to a certain like range, in the immediate area. I had a lot of fun just pausing, and looking at the expressions on the NPC's face because it was always hilarious. Because they're always like,
I mean that's the thing. That's the thing. Like if New York is super occupied, like real New York, like street photography would totally be a thing. Like taking pictures of the NPCs doing stuff and like walking around, and that, yes, it sounds very appealing. So I don't know. I might wait and play that one later. The next time there's like a game drought, because I want to give it some space. But yeah, I'm real excited about that. But Kingmaker, I want to play that first because I started with the demo. And that's pretty much it. I don't have a ton of time for like video game stuff. I'm either running games or prepping them. I started work on I've got a game design that I want to finish by the end of the year. So I'm busy working on that.
Nice.
Got a new camera.
Oh yeah,
Photography
what
stuff.
camera did you get?
I bought a medium format Mamiya 7 II. It's a Japanese camera from the like mid 90s. And you know how like, so the difference between this and regular, it's a film camera. Normal film is like little, right? It's like a little frame. Medium format's like much, much bigger. So you can only take 10 shots on a roll, but the scans are really nice. So I'm excited to try that out. I haven't owned a medium format camera in years.
Now, do you develop your own photos or do you send them off somewhere?
I have a lab that I take them to, but I do scan them and process the negatives at home. So I have like a negative scanner, and so I do that, and it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Like a single roll, I'll break it. It's a roll of 36. I'll break it into like 7 sets of 5, and each set of 5 takes like 40 minutes to scan. So if I'm doing like 7 rolls, it's a multi-day procedure, but I can usually do it while I'm doing other stuff.
Yeah, my simple knowledge of photography or developing photos in high school when I took photography class, that shit sucked and it smelled awful and I hated
Smells really bad.
I hated a lot of it. But the
I
photos
think
look nice.
like yeah, I could develop if I wanted to. I could develop like black and white relatively easily. Color photos are much harder to develop at home. Black and white's pretty easy. You just have like a tub. You put the chemicals in. You open the camera in a dark room or a dark bag, and then throw the film in there, shake it up, and then wait a very specific amount of time. Pop it open and let it dry.
Yep.
But I just don't really have I don't have the room. Like my house is pretty small, and there's already a ton of shit in here. So and there's no room in my house that doesn't have a window. I have no dark room in my house, so I would have to get a bag and it'd be a whole fucking thing. I'll just pay somebody else to do it.
There you go. The American way.
Yeah.
Although you're
That's
Canadian.
right,
it's fine.
exactly. Yeah, so what that means is I will pay somebody like 26 extra cents on the dollar to do it. That's how that works.
The real American way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Before we get started,
Yeah, man.
2 quick updates. One, I have purchased the TriCaster. I have purchased the 4 cameras. Yes. It was a very not fun thing to purchase said things, but they're not here yet, so I can't really show it off. But it was, shout out to patrons for all that stuff.
How does that feel? Like I know some people, for some
Scary?
people buying really expensive shit is like, yeah, I'm the best. I bought this super expensive thing. I think for you and for me too, like spending a ton of money on one thing is just like, okay, well, that happened. Good. Cool. Now what?
It was a fun. Here's the best part about this. This is not a way for me to promote this, but it's fun because of this. My birthday's on Saturday, but it's the 15th of September, which is quarterly tax day, one of 4 every year.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've spent more money ever in my life in the past 3 hours because of quarterly taxes and buying a TriCaster and 4 PTZ cameras. So it's a good week, I guess.
I feel like since I started doing like my own finances, you're way more aware of the money you spend. You watch that like expenses column just like climbing, and then also paying your taxes all at once, because we don't do like quarterly. They're at the end of the year. And I remember paying my taxes and getting I have a like a budgeting app, and getting a notification that's like, you are above your usual spending amounts. And I'm like, yeah, no shit.
Oh yeah, no. The bank called and was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "Look, just let it go through. Just let it happen. Okay, this is on purpose. China's not stealing my money." Yeah, that was definitely a fun phone call.
Thanks for the warning, guys. Don't talk to me. Talk to the government.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing is, well, actually, there's 3 things. The second thing is we launched a merch store, which is currently live right now. If you go to itmeJP/store, there's a Far Verona shirt that we talked about last week, but there's also the Court of Swords shirt. And if I was good at my job, I'd show it off right now. But I'm not, so I don't have any way to do this unless I just do it real quick. Who Adam, you do the spiel on the shirt while I sit here and not scramble for the actual thing that's supposed to show it off.
Yeah. Well, so we did this specifically Court of Swords featured shirt, and I don't know how long do you think we Aaron and I went back and forth on that one. It was really fun. Like I don't get to do the like intensive graphic design stuff anymore, and so it was really fun to go back to that. I used to do it all the time when I worked in advertising, but like having that conversation and being like, listen, here's the brand story of the Court of Swords. You design a thing. And because Aaron is awesome, he was like, here's 10 things. And I was like, all right, well, these 3 are cool. And then he figured out the stuff that we liked about those things. And then like we iterated a bunch of times, and I'm so proud of this design. Like it's so supremely cool. So that's our Court of Swords shirt.
Yeah.
I think it really captures the vibe of the world in a way that is really neat.
Yeah.
These kinds of things, like it's really easy. I was gonna say it's really easy to make like role-playing game merchandise by just like throwing some D20s on a thing and some sparkles and like
it's a D20 with all of our faces. Buy it now.
Right, like,
it's great.
Like, and that's you go to any con and you walk around, and 99% of the T-shirts that you're gonna see there are stuff like that, where it's like just corny jokes about like alignment or your class or like D&D stuff, or like you'll have a D20 on it and be like
Danger sense.
Yeah.
this shirt's a critical hit. No, but what I like, the thing about Danger Sense is that it has none of the like gamer shit on it. It's just the words Danger Sense, and if
Yeah.
you don't have context for that, it doesn't make any fucking sense. But if you
No.
do, you're like, oh, I know
That's
that.
why I like
That's
that
a
shirt.
thing.
I'll wear it around, and it's just a shirt that says Danger Sense.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
also gone. You
yeah,
can't
you
buy it
just-
anymore. It's now a collector's item, Max. So there you go.
Mhm.
You just feel safer wearing it. But then every once in a while at a con, you'll find that booth where you're like, oh, the people that made these shirts have some kind of like graphic design sense. Like they're not just trying to shill t-shirts. They're making like art and putting that on a shirt, which I think is so cool. And I really feel like that about this Court of Swords one, especially where it's like, yeah, this is super cool.
Yep.
And it's the same with our design stuff for Far Verona, right? Like all the Far Verona logos, they're made by a graphic designer, and they look like logos in a
It
way
shows
that
too,
just kind
yeah.
of slap and stuff
Yeah.
together. Yeah,
Everything
you can-
about Far
you can-
Verona, like
you can feel it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see them all there. So we'll have some more stuff down the line for, of course, Court of Swords, Far Verona. We've got some drop frame stuff that might be popping up there in the next couple of months. Oddballs for sure. And we'll just see kind of where we go with all that stuff. So if you want to grab it, itmeJP/merch. If you're also a patron, you can save 15% across the entire store. So just go look on like the second or third most recent post. And then the final thing is we did some more work on our overlays. We've now got little avatars
Yeah.
next to our names. And the dice the rolls are fixed. And if Adam puts little things right here, it gets what are they called? What are these things called, Adam? Disabilities or something on us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. I'm dead.
that's actually really cool.
Yeah. So it's still a work in progress. We got a lot of feedback from you guys last week on all that stuff. It was
It is a work in progress because I can't unkill you. You're dead now. I'm sorry, JP.
Yeah. Barry didn't think about the
That's it.
unkill way.
You're toast. That's
Yeah.
it. Sorry, I killed
Right.
JP by accident. I'm sorry, everybody.
Great. Now I just
Let me see if I can find one. Let me see if I can find one that looks like. Oh, there's one. There you go. There you go, Zeke. I got one for you.
Yeah. You still did you see like my token that I made for myself, my little guy? I put little glasses on him. I put little blind glasses on my avatar.
Yeah.
Yep. That's pretty
So
good.
shout out to Barry and Daniel for working on that stuff the past week. Obviously, still a work in progress. Once we kind of get everything ironed out here on this one, then we'll move on to Far Verona and then Oddballs and all that stuff. But it's been a huge effort for the past 2 or 3 years to get this stuff kind of out and working. So glad to finally have it out here. But with all that said, doesn't matter unless we have a game. So we should probably start playing and die to this creature
Yeah.
here real quick.
Yeah. So before we begin, just as a quick recap of the situation before we write goals. Yeah, you find yourselves in the tomb or a prison tomb. It's complicated with these strange elder entities. You find yourself in having broken the seal to this chamber and entered therein. You find the eldritch mirror containing the essence of the chthonic god Kthabar, who either is or contains within him the artifact known as the Bell of Dark Voices. The bell is a summoning object that has been bringing aberrations forth from the world to gather in this realm, and you've been tasked by the demon blood cult to which Yoji is beholden, and which Jadara is pretending to be a member. So they've sent you here to retrieve the bell.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to get it out of Kthabar's horrific maw first. So that's where you are. And let's do goals for the three of you, and then I'll talk to Max about what his situation is.
I'm so intimidated and not ready for this. The god Kthabar. What the
Yeah.
is that?
Have you seen this bad boy? Check him out.
It's God
Fuck.
Kthabar. Yeah.
I'm sitting
Yeah.
here like, Adam, I haven't played a spell cache in a while, and I really don't have all my spells locked down. And you're like, yep, here's a god Kthabar,
Yeah,
by the
I mean,
way.
his normal, we call him Joe on the weekends. Yeah.
Here's a bipedal oh fuck. Never
Mouth?
mind. Lost it. No, the dragon, the dragon from
Oh,
Gaping
Gaping
Dragon.
Dragon.
Goddamn.
Gaping dragon.
Yeah.
Bipedal gaping dragon.
Yeah.
Wow. Think before you talk. Got it.
I'm gonna do that again, or I'm gonna do that more in the future. Just be like, fuck, I don't just
Yeah.
move on.
That's the best when somebody's
I hate
like
that so
they're
much
trying
when
to
I'm
get
like,
it going, shit.
Yeah.
You just know your brain's failing you, and you're like, damn it.
Everyone remembers
Yeah.
those famous
Yeah.
speeches, you know. 4 score and 7. Oh, fuck it, I'm done.
That's right. It was the best of times. It was
Shit.
Shit.
yeah, right. Exactly.
like-
Son of a
Remember when Homer was trying to go over that chasm and he was almost made it? And you see the other side, you're like, I'm gonna make it. Nope.
Yep.
Yep, that's
That's
you.
me.
You're almost there. It's okay. It was a shot in the dark, but here we are. Okay.
Anyway.
So, Kalimat, Yoji, and Jadara, I need goals from the three of you. You did a pretty good job clearing up some of the goals last time, working on some of them, and I just wanted to get everybody up to date. So, they can be about defeating Kthabar, they can be about recovering the Bell of Dark Voices, but they can also be about returning to the like fortress of the cult, right? Because ostensibly the plan is to get the bell and return. The name of that fortress is 200 Shipwrecks. It's a cliffside fortress. We'll see it later if you need to throw that in there, like return safely or whatever. There's other NPCs and characters that you'll get to interact with when we get back. But I just want to see what everybody wants right now. So Kalimat, what are your goals? What do you want your goals to be?
My goals are. I think I'm gonna keep them the same for today. My goals are find out what lives in the dark, meaning like there's a reason why I've been blinded, and I want to find out like something. And there's a feeling, there's an entity that lives here, and I want to figure out what it is.
Now, is this?
At least
Are
in
you
my
talking?
mind.
I would say, are you talking about specifically like this, like what lives in the darkness of this layer, like the kind of purpose and entity that dwells here, like learn more about Kthabar, or is this more the metaphorical, high level, like see without seeing, understand the void with this vision of darkness, the kind of like that broader thing?
Yes, that broader kind of
That one?
a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
So you wanna
kind of find out who I am and that kind of thing, like that kind of thing.
stare into the abyss as hard as you can. Okay,
Yeah, exactly,
cool.
exactly.
Right. Well,
Find a
you see
different
like
way
the
to
abyss.
see,
Okay. Yep.
whatever that might entail, and make the cult hold up their end of the deal, meaning get more information on the ancient dragons and how to find or awake them.
Right. Okay. Cool. So you're becoming our Mikolash. I like it. Okay. Cool. So we'll keep those ones from last time. All right. Yoji.
Yeah.
What do you want yours to be?
I'm gonna keep discover there because I'm still working on the nature of the Bell of the Dark Voices, right?
Yes. Yeah. You don't really know its deal yet.
Yeah, so we'll keep that. We'll keep indoctrinate Kalimat into the ways of the cult, and we'll add just a simple one: defeat the monster and stay alive through the process.
Yeah. So you want to kill, defeat Kthabar. Okay. Cool. That sounds possible. All right. And Jadara.
Mine will be get the bell from the creature, escape the place alive, and learn what powers the bell holds.
Okay. So you want retrieve the bell, learn what powers it holds, and then sorry, what was your third one?
Escape the place
Just escape-
alive.
Yeah, get out of here alive. The same one you had last time. Okay. Cool. Okay. All right. So, Shadrick, my gnomish friend, you're a ways from home. Now I have some questions about Shadrick and kind of where you come from. Now, were you part of the community of gnomes that lived in the Shulin Valley, or were you one of the gnomish exiles? Like, did you live somewhere else? Did you grow up in the Shulin Valley, or did you grow up somewhere else? What do you think, Max? You know?
You're talking to me. I'm sorry. I thought you were. Say that
It's
again.
okay.
One more time. Sorry, I've been looking at items and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I've been really.
I know.
trying to,
I
like,
know
flesh out the
you're,
character sheet and
you're
stuff.
getting ready. It's cool. So basically, there's two kinds of gnomes, right? Two kinds of forest gnomes. Either the ones that lived in the Shulin Valley and who had to deal with like the rock gnome, like violence, etc. Or there are gnomes who fled before all of that happened and maybe grew up among humans or like elsewhere in the world.
I would say someone that grew up in the Shulin Valley and fled as things were happening, like after a little bit after the fighting and stuff broke out. And
So when the Civil War started, you left the valley to go out into the world. Okay, all right. Have you been back since? Like when King Emperor Torbisher overthrew the rock gnomes and their construct army? Did you return to join him at his side? Did you go back to the Shulin Valley?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think after he heard whispers and word traveled to him that it was more safe to come back to the homelands, he started to come back.
Okay. So that was 10 years ago when that happened. So that 10 years has been a prosperous one for the forest gnomes, right? They took over the caverns of the rock gnomes. They either took prisoner or executed, depending on their crimes, the remainders of the rock gnome army, and using their technology, particularly some kind of like magical forge. Discovered by the forest gnomes. Using this forge, they have crafted an upcoming like kingdom for themselves. They have technology that no one else has anywhere. They have all kinds of like stuff going on, powered by this magical treasure that was taken from the rock gnome king when he was killed. So things are good for the forest gnomes. Why did you leave? Why did you leave the Shulin Valley?
Initially,
find
or are
like
you talking about after?
Or like
after
most recently? Like you came back and things were getting good.
Yeah, I think Shadrick left because of the too much prosperity. He likes challenge and adventure, and also God Emperor Torbisher feeling himself a little too much for Shadrick's taste. So he's like, you know what? Fuck this shit. He got so used to being on his own that he felt uneasy and not at home. Like he's happy that
I like that. Yeah. So Torbisher
not right being there.
Emperor Torbisher the First and his mighty war goat. Like he started like melting down gold to make golden statues of himself, and there are like murals in his great hall of him, and he's enormous and powerful, and then also like his small and like kind of helpful friends who sort of maybe helped him out, but they were there for stuff, but they're not that important.
I'm just playing all this.
No, bigger. It needs to be bigger version of me.
Yeah. He built specifically like a mural out of like gold plate and jewels showing what an excellent archer he is. And he there's this story of how Emperor Torbisher never fired his bow, and it wasn't like a kill. Every shot was a killing shot. He never missed once ever in the history of ever using a bow.
Yeah.
Never. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So like the gnomes are they're it's all prosperity, and they're growing fat on their own wealth and glory over the last 10 years. And and so they're starting to think about kind of like their place in the world. But you were like, I have a deeper connection to the land. I need to go and get out there and see some stuff in the world. So how long ago was that?
I would say it was about like 3 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. So they had like 7 full years to build up this mighty this mighty land in the Shulin Valley. Okay, cool. So you took off 3 years ago. Was there like a particular event that led you, or did you just kind of like leave? Like, did you cut ties with a family? Did you have friends there, or were you kind of a loner, even among your own kind?
I think not so much family ties or whatever. There might have been some like loose, like extended kind of family that were sort of related to him, but no one that he was actually really close to. and none that really they were even aware of. I think only he was really aware of it because he's a bit older than most of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it just came to a head where Torbasher, at the height of his, self-centeredness and just being like, we're the fucking best, where he's just like, all right, I can't deal with this anymore. I'm gonna go somewhere else, hopefully where I'm needed, and find a greater purpose than just being like, hey, we're awesome.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's the thing is like the emperor was beginning to assemble like an honor guard, and like there was some talk about seizing some villages nearby for the glory of gnome kind. Yeah, and you're like, I'm not having that. Okay, cool. So you're not. I mean, the Court of Coins is very large. You're not that far from the Shulan Valley in the sense that you're still in the same, like, you're in the same continent, in the same like country, but it's a large one, right? It's like China and Russia together. So you're probably a little ways away from where you were originally, from where the valley is, but you could always return if you needed to. What have you spent those, like, are these adventure times? Like you've been like going on quests with people and like undergoing heroic acts, or like has it been a time of reflection for you?
I think for a bit after immediately leaving, it was him kind of just self-reflection, figuring out what he wants to do, kind of going back to his old like hermit ways before, when the things were bad and he was just an outcast wherever he was. But after some times passed, he was looking for more purpose, kind of going from village to village, taking odd jobs here and there to investigate stuff. But a lot of it has just been him personally investigating his own interests, like little rumors of places of power, examining, ruins and things like that. Trying to get back into the forest and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been called then either by your own intuition, perhaps visions in dreams, or the very like the whispers of the spirits themselves. You've been drawn to a mountainous and hilly sort of forest area in the sort of deep in the Court of Coins, and here a strange power has been growing in the darkness, the shadow of the boughs. There have been more and more sightings of strange creatures long thought forgotten or mythical, and the forest has become dangerous as a result. And you've been hearing whispers that one such group that has been drawn to this power are agents of a Mara cult. Now, these entities, this family, they're not a Mara cult in the traditional sense that they serve a member of the Mara, but that they hunt the Mara, so to use their bodies and spirits to create magic items and to empower themselves. They are trucking with dangerous power, and you've been kind of keeping an eye on them and their growing presence in this place.
Adam,
and
I leave. I get
recently,
that sense that there's a god in there. I don't want to. I leave.
Yeah, and you. I mean, that's fine. You can write a goal about it, but when we begin, you followed a group of these of people operating on behalf of this cult, as they have cracked open an ancient tomb, a tomb of which you were not previously aware. They've like led you to it, and you followed them here. And you have just watched as they have cracked open the eldritch seal on this thing, and they are about to maybe let out a terrible evil, maybe be slaughtered by it. Hard for you to say, but you are in the tomb with them. You have followed them down here to either observe or to intervene. It is possible that these people are about to endanger not only their own lives, but the lives of many others by releasing this thing. So you followed them. You followed them in, these demon hunters, so as to assist. So when we begin, we fade in on the ancient sort of chapel tomb, the sepulcher, and we see the three of you, Kalimat, Jadara, and Yoji, as you have entered this giant's tomb. There is an altar off to one side with offerings. There is the great mural that we talked about before, the ever-burning torches at the back, the braziers, and then the enormous mirror in which we see the shadowy form of Thabar lurking behind the glass, and we can only see it because Jadara, holding the hand mirror, is looking back over her shoulder in the mirror's surface. But yeah, there is an unmistakable presence of evil here. What is everybody gonna do?
Well, we don't know it's there. Only Jadara does, right?
Yeah.
I think the first thing I do is like, oh my god, and then like something's coming out of the mirror. I warn everyone as like I don't know what it is. It's huge.
Yeah, I draw my bow, turn to the mirror, but I don't see anything, right?
No, when you look at it, it is it's just dusty and like sort of a shadowy surface.
Okay. Yeah, I've got my arrow drawn in the bow, and I don't see anything. Jadar, you okay? I don't see anything.
Do you have anything that reflects? Looking through this mirror.
Can I? Do I need to position myself so that the mirror is looking at the mirror? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the hand mirror, you see your own face reflected. But if you use the mirror to look at the silver surface ahead of you, yeah, you see this creature, and it's not clear, right? It's still through mist and shadow, but he has approached the mirror's surface, and you see him press a hand, a great taloned hand, up to the surface as if searching for you.
I take a quick. I spin quickly, look at the mirror. Is it attached to the wall? Is it like seated into the ground, or is it? If I go over and pull on it or push against it, can I break it?
Yeah. So you want to walk over and take a closer look?
No, not necessarily. I definitely want to look from afar at this thing to see if it's seated in place. Yeah.
So the mirror.
Smash it.
The mirror is crafted into the altar that it sits on. So there's 3 short steps up to a height of about 5 feet, and then the mirror itself, which reaches the ceiling, it's like vaguely circular, it seems pretty firmly like attached. You wouldn't be able to grab it and like tip it over. You'd have to throw something against its surface to break it.
Let me look real quick. Can I'm going to paste the spell here, and I need you to tell me if I can change the way, if this is only always vertical, or if I can change the parameters for it to basically make it so this thing is just walking into a rope trick. Is what I'm trying to do. And it might not be wide enough. It might only like open up like just the thing's chest, but that's the spell that I want to try to do, so that this thing basically is just walking into a void.
Oh, no, it has to be perpendicular to the ground, right?
It has to be
The rope
perpendicular.
is like,
Fuck. Okay.
yeah.
We could hide in there.
Also, this thing is too big to fit
That's
into
what
the
I
rope
thought.
trick.
But I could cut off like a portion of it if I closed it.
I don't think you can use rope trick for violence.
Yeah. Does it? Can I tell how thick the mirror is at another glance?
No, because you can't see behind it, but it's definitely
Yeah.
not attached to the back wall. So,
I want to move over here if I can. Like, I don't want to get too close to this thing because I know this creature's coming out. But how much space is in between the wall and the mirror behind it, or is it closed?
you could squeeze in behind it.
If I squeeze in behind it and push my legs against the wall and try to like knock the mirror over, does it seem like I could?
It's
Or is that a lot
you'd
of
have to be
weight?
pretty. You'd have to be pretty strong. It's not that it's heavy. It's just that it's part of the like dais.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Is there anything heavy on that table you're standing on?
I'm staring at the mirror. I look down at the table.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like
Like,
ritual
kick
implements.
things off. Yeah.
Bunch of ritual implements, like mostly burned down tallow candles. There is a couple of like blood, stained knives. There is a large book The book has a brass clasp, and on the leather of the cover is burned that branch sigil.
I looked down at the book. There's one of these books over here. It doesn't mean anything to me, though.
Toss it to me.
Oh, okay. I pick up the book and throw it towards Jadara. I look at Kali Matt. He's probably staring at a wall. Kali.
No, I'm actually like was waiting for a break in the description, like the non-actual in-game talk to say like, can you tell me what's going on, please?
Yeah, there's something coming through this mirror. It's gonna be here in a matter of seconds. It's not good if it gets here.
You say coming through the mirror? Break the mirror.
We're trying to. I don't really have anything to do it short of just shooting arrows. Do you have any? Can you do that? The thunder thing that you do sometimes.
I can. Guide me towards the mirror, and we'll do that.
All right, turn to your right. About.
I have my hands out. Like, come get me.
Yeah, I immediately run over to Kalimat and like turn him towards the mirror. It's about. Let me just make a. How do you measure the fucking space now? Oh God.
Hit Q and then just drag.
Okay, I can't do that.
For it to work, I need to be within 2 strides, which is like 10 feet.
Okay, I was like,
Yes.
Okay, I push him up 10 feet from the mirror.
Okay. So like mirror. Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
That's so good. It does look like using the blind dude as bait. It's like, here, go do something.
Yeah, I push you into place.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, I push him into place and then I just walk back.
Like, you got this, buddy. We'll see you later. Bye.
So Kalimat, you walk up to the mirror and we see you reflected in its surface, and you can hear faintly. You can hear a bell ringing, a mournful bell, like the kind you'd ring at a funeral. It's very faint, and it's coming from somewhere in front of you.
Does it seem familiar, like from my time with Ramus? Like Toll the Dead Bells?
Yeah, it's yes, yeah. It totally sounds like similar to that. It gives you the same kind of funereal like sorrow, and you're not sad for any particular reason. You just feel it like sadness, kind of like wash over you at the sound of this bell.
I hear the bell.
What?
There's a bell. Do you hear it?
No, Cassis, it's coming quick. It might already be in the room. I look over towards Jadar. Did you put the mirror down or are you still looking at it?
I'm flipping through the book to look for what language it's in and if there's any clues as to rituals or something to close the mirror or.
Do you understand?
Need to go into the mirror.
No, that's a bad idea.
Do you understand Abyssal, Jadara?
Only Infernal.
Okay, so similar. It's like one of the hellish languages, but it's not the Mara like speak and understand Infernal. That's their language. This has the same kind of ominous vibe when you look at it, but you don't understand the characters.
When I see Jadar reading the book, I immediately am running over to her to grab the mirror and look to see if the thing's in the room.
Can you? Okay, so Jadar, make an investigation check. I just want to see if you like pick anything up. There's diagrams.
20.
Okay. Yeah, you see the same creature that you saw in the mirror. You see a diagram of that thing. It has there is a group of human figures around it. They have marked on their robes that branch sigil, and they appear to be like casting a spell on the creature. And then there is an image of one of the robed figures holding a knife over the prone body of a human, and then the next one holding a heart in his hand. And it seems to illustrate like the sacrifices required to like bury this creature and keep it here. But you don't know the details. It's like looking at pictures, but not having the recipe of how to like put them together. So you're doing that. Yoji, you want to look at you're looking at the mirror. You're looking at the hand mirror.
Yeah, I'm cursing Jadara for dropping the mirror and picking it up, trying to see if I can position where the enemy's at, while also screaming at Kali like, "Fucking do the spell already! I don't care if you can heal a bear."
Right. So you just see this. You see this thing, and it just standing with its hands against the mirror. And I think that you can see like its breath. Like you can see its body moving, and it exhales onto the mirror, and we see on the actual mirror like fog appear. And if Kalimat had the eyes to see it, he would see the handprints of this creature, and these hands are like torso sized. Kalimat, what would you like to do?
Oh fuck.
I'm going to walk towards the mirror with my hand out
Okay.
until I feel
yeah.
its surface.
Yeah, you do. So you reach up and
Okay.
you feel it, and it's like, yeah, it's cold.
Okay. And nothing about it feels like strange or malleable or anything like that.
No, I mean it feels like a cold metal surface. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I've got nothing more that I can do. I listen to see if there's anything. Like, can I hear anything besides? I can hear the bell, the ting ding.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I said, does it feel? Does it sound like the bell? The bell sound is coming from the other side of the mirror.
The bell is coming from. Yeah.
Okay. Well, since I can't like go through it naturally, let's try and bust it open. So
Okay.
I take a big step back. I just pull my hands out. I say in draconic, shatter. Whoop!
As he does
Cool.
that, I
Yeah,
look
yeah.
towards Jadar and go,
Wait.
wait. What if we're freeing him?
It's
Then
too
it
late.
happens.
A wave.
I say it right
Yeah,
after.
a wave of force ripples from Kalimat, strong enough to like cause a back breeze off of it, so the pages of your book like flip wildly. Dust is blown around the room, and there's a shattering sound as the mirror breaks inward. And it doesn't just like break and throw glass everywhere. It breaks into a like a tube leading back out of the room away from Kalimat. So there's this sort of hanging tube of light and broken glass, and from its surface crawls Kthabar, hungry and grateful for being freed. Let's roll initiative.
It was containing the creature.
Yeah, no, I thought of that as soon as that was my bad. Good luck to everyone.
Okay, so I will roll for him.
But we
Yeah,
you guys
I don't have a
freed it,
token to
so
select, so
now
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll, and I'll just
Yep.
I'll just add you.
maybe he's super thankful for you guys for freeing it.
I'm
and-
scared out of
Um,
my wits. Apparently,
Can I, Max? Can I get you to roll as well?
Yeah. God damn it. I'm so not prepared for this fucking fight.
And what did
Alright.
you? Let's see. Zeke got an 8. Okay.
yeah. Rolled a 2, big 2 on that one.
An 8.
Okay. All right. Yoji, it's your turn. What are you gonna do?
Man, those were some bad fucking rolls for initiative. Jesus.
Yeah, I won with an 11. Well, it's the first round of combat, so I'm going to try and get as much as I can. This place is all lit up, right?
Yes. Yep.
So, how did you do the measurement thing again? You pressed Q?
Q. Hit Q, and then you can drag anywhere on the map. And if you need to create a waypoint, you can right click.
I think I have hotkeys turned off or something.
Maybe. Yeah. It's also on the bar. It's the circle with the ruler on it.
I got it. Okay. Yeah, so I can move 40 feet on my first round. Could I see it from all the way up here? Up the stairs? Or is the the ceiling basically converge?
Yeah. I don't think you. It's just shadow down there. I put Max there so he could see into the room, just so he could see what was going on. But yeah,
Oh, I
if
can't
you
even
look
see
down
him.
that way,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, as far up the stairs as I can go and still see the creature, that's what I want to do. So you tell me how far that is.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's about right. Where you've got it there, about 20 feet.
Okay. Then I'll move 20
Because then you're shooting like down at his feet.
Yeah, and I'll pull out Katsu, the new bow, and
Yeah,
I'm
the giant's bow.
Yeah, the giant's bow, and I'm also going to take out some of the magical arrows for this first round of combat, and use 3 of them hit the creature. Now, can I collect these magic arrows after the fight with a roll?
No,
They're gone.
No,
They
these guys
disappear?
are. Yeah, they're one use magic arrows.
Okay. So yeah, 3 shots. Here's the first. 24.
That's a hit. Yep.
Also, I'll do it after this, but Hunter's Mark is the bonus action, so I'll do it for the next roll if it hits. So that's 7 damage.
So
I don't know why that it
you
rolled
hit
a
for.
crit.
So that's 7 damage. It also gives a +1 from the bow and a +1 from the arrow. So another 2 because you're using one of your magic arrows.
Great. Yeah.
Did you already put? Did you? Yeah. It doesn't look like you put in the bonus from.
Well, I get a
bonus
+2
damage from
normally, but I
Ikatsu.
didn't put the damage, so I'll put the damage in now.
Nice. Okay. All right. So you do another 2.
Yeah. I'll just
All right.
put 1 and then make sure to remember if I use magical arrows to add an additional 1 to it.
All right. So you all see this. And Kalimat, there's like this bellowing sound. You hear and when it speaks, when it makes these noises, you hear the tone of the bell underneath it. All of you do. It speaks with the voice of the bell. And as it emerges from the mirror, you hear the snap of a bow behind you. And you see a bright flash because Yoji, when you fire these arrows, when you launch them from the bow, as soon as they leave the bow, they become like a bolt of light and they strike the side of this creature and he just howls with pain. Like it seems to hurt him more than you expected. And he's pissed about that.
Great. We've got 2 more
And
coming.
the bow is like singing in your hands. It's giving off like a humming sound that everyone in the room can hear. It's almost as if the bow is like eager for you to fire another shot.
Great. Yeah. I have a smirk on my face when I let the second shot go. 14? Probably doesn't hit.
It is not. No, the second shot, the creature Ktabar puts a hand up and the arrow impacts on his hand, and doesn't hit.
And then because it's the first round, thanks to Dread Ambusher, I'll take the 3rd shot. And if it hits, it gets an additional D8. 16?
Okay. 16 is a miss, I am afraid.
Does that have the plus?
Look at those 231s too, those crits.
God damn it. Yeah, I crit twice, but on the side.
Okay.
All right, so I'm down to 17 magical arrows. And then at the end of my turn, I definitely yell, call him out, get the fuck out of that room. From further back in the room than I was talking before.
We'll see if that matters.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're good, Yoji?
Yeah. Oh, and he also has Hunter Mark if you want to mark that or anything on it.
Yes, I will. Yeah. Okay.
And its cast is level 2 spell. Doesn't change anything in terms of the actual damage or anything, but it keeps me from using my final level 1 spell, which is a cure wounds, which might come in handy here.
Okay. All right. So he's got Hunter's Mark. That lasts up to an hour, so I'm not going to bother tracking it in the initiative. Okay. All right. So
Remind me again, Adam, if did we get a short rest in between the eyeball monster and this guy or not?
short rest. Yes, because
Yeah,
you have the weapons.
Yeah, we also
Okay,
have
cool.
dice.
Yeah. Okay. So the creature ignores you, Kalimat, basically stepping over you because he's so fucking big. And he goes up here.
Now hold on a minute. Can I not stab him as he's going by?
You have to be able to see him.
Oh, that's a shitty coincidence.
Okay.
An attack of opportunity requires you're aware of and can see his total concealment from you.
Okay.
Yeah, so he pushes past you and moves through the room, and I think he's going to stop here because he can reach both of you. And he makes an attack on Yoji.
All right.
Okay.
It's a hit.
Okay. And he hits for 13.
Okay.
And you're the one shooting him with the giant's bow, so he's going to take another swing at you. The second one, I believe you dodge, right?
Yeah, it misses. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the first swing, he swings out. He's got 4 arms. His arms at the elbow, you can't see it on here, but at the elbow they split into 2 smaller arms. and he just swings out and punches you hard, knocking you back. The second one, you use the momentum of the first blow, and he swings past you. So all of this is happening, Shadrick. There's a lot, like you hear the bellowing bell sound of this creature. Can you make a like an Arcana check for me?
Sure. Actually, I think that's one of the things I'm proficient in. Let me look. Arcana. Yeah, I can do that for you. Boop.
Okay. There is something familiar. There's something familiar about this creature, but you cannot place it. You're not sure why he seems familiar to you. And yeah, just for scale, like just so we're aware, like let's see. He's like 15 feet tall, right? This thing is a giant. He's enormous. So yeah, he comes out into the room from the broken shard tunnel, and you see him attack this archer. What would you like to do?
Shit. I was dreading coming to me.
Eventually,
Okay,
eventually it would be your turn. So,
question though, as far as spells work, aren't they kind of weird? Are they literally 1-to-1 with my level? Like when you're looking at them, it's like a 4th level spell. So I'm level 8, correct?
yes. So you will have up to level 4 spells, level 3 spells.
Okay, that's what. Because I knew it wasn't like 1-to-1, right? With spells,
No, it's definitely not 1-to-1. No.
Yeah, because I'm looking at these other spells. I'm like, I think that's way above what I can cast. I could try to turn him into something tiny, polymorph. That was one of the ones I was looking at. But he has to do a wisdom save then, right? How wise do we think this fucker is?
Yeah. I mean, that's a question, right? And it's willpower too, right? It's not just like.
Is it really? I was looking at the description of it. It says,
Well, like that's what I mean. Is like that's what wisdom is. It's not just about how wise he is. It's about his.
Does he have 20 wisdom?
Yeah. That's what he looks like if you want to see his whole body. I just wanted to show everybody.
Let me see real quick.
That's
On
that
that.
big boy right there.
He's so scary.
Yeah, big furry horrific mouth thing with pokey claws. So that's him. The token just wasn't doing him justice. Now you know.
Right.
Okay.
All right. It's not on my sheet yet, but I'm gonna take polymorph and try to change him into something tiny and with little HP. Doesn't it take the HP that they have in that form, and they also can't use their abilities?
If you click
you
the
kill
spell,
the-
it'll paste it. Yeah.
When you kill
Yeah,
the
let me
form,
do it real
it just
quick.
goes back to normal. So it
Yeah,
goes
when you-
back to
yeah.
his HP.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it's more for.
So
better
it's more to get
buff
away.
someone else to turn them into something than to use it offensively.
It's not broken like
Well,
it used
then
to
it's
be.
not really. Well, then it's not really worth, is it?
I mean, you could turn him into like a rodent, like a marmoset or something, and then throw him in a bag and like hide it somewhere or lock him in a safe or whatever. But yeah, it's not really like I turn him into a duck and then I break the duck's neck. Like,
Yeah.
Which is what I did.
that's right. a truly heroic act of days of yore.
It was great.
I'm looking at this spell right now to see. There's no like. It's really just until it drops to 0 HP, right? So as long as you don't kill the thing, it's stuck like that, right?
Don't kill that marmoset. Yeah, I mean it lasts.
And then, yeah, the best part is Adam's gonna be like, Yoji, a duck attacks you, and oh shit, he crit. Okay, you're dead. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, it would contain it for the situation, buy people time to figure out what the hell to do.
Yeah, you could try.
All right,
Would you like to
will
do that?
try.
What would
to
you
do that.
What would you like to transform him into with the polymorph spell?
That's the question. What about like a sloth? Can I do that? Because they're slow.
Yeah, sure. You could try to turn him into a sloth.
Turn this motherfucker into a sloth. Let's see if it works. Let me get the.
Okay.
Hold
All right.
Let me get the.
So you have to be within 60 feet of him.
Okay. I think I am already. Am I not?
Yeah.
Unless the
I just wanna
scale's
make sure. Yeah. And it will last its concentration up to an hour if you successfully cast it. He will be limited in the actions he can perform. Okay, all right. I don't think I have a stat block for a sloth. Let me do a quick check here. But I mean, a sloth is basically just like it could be like a monkey, right? Like
Yeah,
just treat it
uh-huh.
like that. But like with a dexterity of 1.
For immersion
Okay.
purposes, let's just have Adam create a sloth real quick, and then we'll just wait.
Yeah, let me just create a monster stat block for a sloth.
Yeah.
We'll just use a monkey for now.
We've got like 30 minutes till break.
God,
so-
I hope this works.
Max, did you put the spell on your character sheet? If
Yeah,
so,
it's there,
click
it's
it.
there.
Welcome
Click the spell. There you
to
go.
Monster.
I clicked
Welcome
it.
to Monster Design Time with
It
Adam
shows up
Coble.
in our
Here's
overlay. So
Yeah.
today we're gonna make a sloth.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. No.
Okay, cool. So let's see. I need to make a wisdom save. What is your? This is gonna be a question you're just gonna have to throw right back at me. What is your spell save DC?
Spell save DC.
top of your spell
Top
list.
of your
Into the
spells
spells
list.
thing, or
It's
spell save
8.
DC 16. currently.
Yeah, 8 plus your modifier plus your proficiency bonus. So yeah, 16 sounds about right. Okay.
That's what it says
I'll
on
make a
the
roll.
sheet, unless my stats aren't correct. I don't.
Quick thing. Am I reading this right? That says the new form can be any beast whose challenge rating is equal to or less. Oh, less than the target's. Okay.
Less
than,
than.
yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there would be
Yeah.
no point. Like instead of
No,
it being
exactly.
this
Like-
god, you're a different
Right.
god.
I turn him from this huge horrible giant into a Tyrannosaurus Rex, I guess. Like, yeah, no, you can turn it into any. A sloth is like a CR0 creature. All right.
Right.
So, what does your spell casting look like? Everybody hear the verbal components of a spell being cast behind you, Yoji. You turn and you see the sort of glow of magic. But what does your druidic magic look like, Shadrick?
You see me wielding like a quarterstaff that has like a shit ton of, it's like got like this weird etched in design all over it, and it's got like a combination of vines running down it, like twisting with like various bits of fur and stuff. And I'm wielding the quarterstaff like going like that, and in in saying the incantation and stuff like that. And then eventually after it whirls around enough, it turns into just like me going like that, firing at it.
Does the staff have like holes or like channels carved in it so it makes noise when you spin it around, like in the air?
Yep.
Nice. That's cool. So there's like
So you hear
there's
like this
chanting
weird
and
kind of whir, yeah.
yeah, this howling like whistle as you spin the staff around, and then a bolt of green, like verdant light leaps from the tip of the staff, strikes the giant. I need to make a wisdom.
It's super
saving
effective.
throw.
It
I mean, we'll see.
such a
See
great
if you
character
turn-
introduction.
You know,
You'll
15,
see.
That when Shadrach introduced himself.
15 or lower. Oh my god.
All right. You turn mighty Kthabar, god of the underworld, into a sloth. You turn him into a sloth. He becomes a sloth.
What the fuck? Who the fuck are you? I turn around. I just have my bow drawn at you.
Easy there, fellows. Seems like you guys need some help.
Sloth is laying on the ground.
Did you do this to that thing?
Yes.
Is everyone? Jadar, are you okay? Kalimat, you doing all right?
What is going on?
All right.
What's wrong with him? Why is he?
He had his eyes taken out by a creature. The thing got turned into looks like a monkey or a sloth. How long is it gonna stay like that?
For a while. What do you want to do now?
Jadar, what are we doing now?
You guys some time at least. Look at him. He's not hurting anybody.
Yoji, the sloth is very slowly reaching a claw out to try to kill you.
Yeah, I stepped back
But
like
it-
2 feet. Yeah, I
Okay,
stepped
good.
back a little while. Jadar, have you been following us?
Oh, me? Yes. I've been following you.
You usually don't answer yes to, and I put my bow back up. Why are you following us?
Well, clearly, put your bow down. I'm clearly not here to hurt you. What the hell was that thing?
You hear Calumet like stumble and fall to his knees in the background trying to get to you guys.
Jadar runs to you to grab you by the hand and this way.
Thank
this way,
you.
darling.
I guess he's only like this.
So I think at this point I'm like looking up the stairs. So Shadrick looks. Is it Shadrick or Shadrick? Where are you at? with
Shadrick.
this? It's Shadrick. Shadrick looks to be quite the tall creature, I would think. So I start walking towards him, and my face of fear definitely turns to one of like, oh.
You're tiny.
Yeah. And I'm just standing there kind of looking down at you. And,
Now, I mean, have you, Yoji, have you ever seen a gnome before?
no, I don't think
Yeah,
so. And so
right?
I think
They're very rare.
Yeah, so
what do you look like, Shadrick? I mean, we have your temporary token, but what is your character? What does Yoji see? And through him, what do we see as the audience? Because we're getting a real good look at you for the first time now.
Yeah. You see a small, kind of older looking, guy who's just draped in some studded like spiked leather, but it's not like just like less more like the punk kind of sense of armor and more like modified to have all sorts of carvings and designs on it. Looks like it was like it looks almost like it was wood, through it with like these intricate kind of like wisps and spirals and stuff.
So the spikes look more like like spines you would see on like a plant or something. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So there's like this intricate design on there. He's got silver hair that's kind of like back in like sort of like a longer like man bun, and then he's got like this beard that kind of goes down into two little things, and inside the beard you can see like beads and like leaves and stuff like that, all of that throughout his entire beard, like interwoven in.
Okay. I think I look down at you and what halfling tribe are you from? What are you doing? Are you from? I'm just kind of like eyeing you. What are you doing here?
You seem oddly suspicious of someone who just turned something that could kill you into, well, that. Maybe we should think about what to do with that.
We cut back to the sloth, which has moved like about a foot towards Yoji, and it just goes like, like dragging itself along the ground.
Yeah, no, that all seems very normal reaction to me. I don't know why this is perplexing you.
Okay, well, have you heard of the Rock Gnome King and all that stuff that happened a while back? The Shulin Valley?
Would I have heard of that loosely, Adam? You want me to make a roll for it?
He basically just said, well, you've heard about Santa Claus and the North Pole, haven't you?
Okay. No, that stuff's all. No, it's all made up. People like yourself tell that to other people like yourself, so they feel better about themselves. All right, that didn't happen.
Well, I suppose I'll just be a-going then. You want me to turn him back to where he was?
Wait! Before you go, I'm sorry. I must apologize for my friend. He's
I mean, clearly I'm not real, so that
not
never
very good
happened.
with people.
Wait, you're a gnome? You're not a halfling?
A gnome?
And this is the one who's lost sight. Are we sure we have this right? Who's this one?
And I point at Jadara.
Dara's looking at the sloth, trying to figure out where the bell is. Picks it up.
What are you looking for? What is?
You
guys
pick
need to
up the
inform me
sloth.
of what's happening here. I'm trying to
Hold
help.
on a second. I want to understand. So Jadar, you could just pick the sloth up off the ground.
Yeah, she's picking it up and looking around.
He puts his arms around your neck and just like hangs off of you.
Jadar, put the thing down. That might be a god of something or other. It's a sloth, but it's still.
He's a
Yoji,
cutie, though. Look
it's
at him.
adorable. Okay,
No, we're not keeping it. Put it down.
let me enjoy this.
What the fuck is going on?
Do you want to hold it, Yoji?
No. We need to put it back into the.
Yoji.
So
he
when
wants
you say
cuddles.
that, yeah, Jadar, when you say that, when you're like, do you want to hold him, Yoji? We just see the sloth do this.
I'm sorry. What was your name again, my friend?
Oh, me? My name's Shadrick. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Shadrick. My name is Kalimat Alfida. It is a pleasure to meet you. And apparently, well, I can't exactly see what happened, but
You need some help with that?
apparently you helped us out of. I'm sorry.
What is it?
Without
I
does
mean,
that
I
mean?
feel like I could help your boy here.
What,
Help
you
me with this.
You could just grow eyes on someone?
Not as such.
I don't know. You tell me, Adam. Lesser restoration, like will that? That's one of the spells that I grabbed, but will that give him his sight back? If not, then I
No,
won't do it. I know
because
it prevents against like blindness and things like that, but he's physically lost his eyes, right?
He physically has no eyeballs, so you would need to regenerate them.
Shit.
But like, you know, that's not certainly not possible. You'd need, yeah. I mean, you need some time, and you could consult with the spirits, but you may be able to help him
Right.
find a way to grow them back.
Okay.
Lizards
Yeah.
Lizards can grow back arms and legs or whatever, right? Tails. So maybe you could find a way to get him to grow his eyeballs back.
So then it changes from like me being like, oh, I'm gonna cast a spell to
Well, it might take some time, but, you know, crazier things have happened. I'm sure I could probably help him in time.
Yes, crazier things have definitely happened. It is a pleasure to meet you, Shadrick. Thank you for helping us out. What exactly did you do? I have no idea what happened.
He turned the thing into a sloth, I guess.
Yes, a sloth.
Really?
Yes,
You're a
quite
gnome, you
cute and
say?
cuddly now.
It's a simple trick. I can do it myself. We don't have
Then
much
why didn't
time.
you do
though.
it? Why were you? I don't.
I'm with him. Why didn't you do it?
It wasn't my. If it didn't feel like it was my turn yet.
Oh, okay.
We don't. How long do we have then? Should we just run? Are we just running?
Well, it depends
Well,
on
I'll
what
tell
you're
you.
doing here. What's the whole
Well, we have
purpose?
time to explore this room. Never
I
waste
was
an
drawn
opportunity.
here, and I've been full transparency. I've been following you guys a little bit. All right, I'm an adventurer, and I was drawn to this point, and I've heard rumors of some grave power that's been coming from this place and corrupting. I'm assuming you're here for something similar, yes?
Yeah, we are. Look, stay back. Stay right where you're at. All right, we're gonna explore the room. Make sure that thing doesn't turn back into whatever it was, and we appreciate your help.
Well, I'll let you know. When I was standing at the mirror, I heard the bell. Felt like it was coming from behind it.
So when you look at the mirror, we all, because now it's that thing where a character mentions something and then we're all like, oh yeah, and the camera looks at it for us. So the mirror's surface is broken. It now looks more like a gateway. There is a wide circle, and then as if you had put, like, you know when you have like a bendable like surface and you like put your hand on it and you push in, you get the imprint of your hand that extends out and it creates a kind of a tube. It's like that, but with shards of broken glass. So there's a tunnel essentially that goes back into, I mean, not into the wall, but further back than it should. And the glass is slowly, it's making this like faint tinkling sound as the pieces click together, and it's just slowly like rotating. And beyond it, there is a like a shadowy darkness.
You said that's what we see in the mirror. Is that like clear to see for everybody?
Wait,
I mean, 3
everybody.
out of the 4 of you can see that.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it first. Damn it! I said it first.
So Jadara, when you turn to look at the mirror, the sloth puts his hand on your face and tries to turn your face away. Like, don't look at that. It's like,
Don't
just stop. He just
Don't
puts,
even-
just like shoves your face. Like, no, like don't look at
You
that.
don't want to
Look
go
away
back
from
in
it.
there, do you, darling?
And he just shakes his head real slow,
to-
and like holds on to you tighter. Like gets his legs around your
I'm
waist.
so happy that worked.
Jadara, it's not your darling, and he needs to go back inside there. Yes, but we can't sit here and. How are we gonna put a mirror back together?
The bell could be in there with it. Anyone have a light source?
I do.
Would you mind casting it on this rock here? And I will toss it inside and see what we can see.
Hand me the rock.
Yeah, you want to do that?
Yep.
Hand it
And then
to
just go.
Okay, yeah. The rock begins to glow. Though to you, Kalimat, it's no different, right? You just feel it in your hand. You cast the spell. You know the spell worked, but
Right. Well,
Yo,
do I,
you-
is that
Yogi,
enough
you have a
light?
stronger arm than I, and I have this. Can you throw this in there?
Yeah, sure, no problem. What, Kalima, what were you saying? And I like arc back and toss the rock inside the mirror.
Yeah, you wanna just,
I
like,
was
huck it
wondering
in
if
there?
that was enough light.
We're about to find out. I just,
okay. Yeah, so you pick it up and you throw it, and it goes into the tunnel, and then instead of like falling or continuing, it hangs for a moment, and then you see it just kind of fade and disappear, and then like the light is gone.
All right, so we're not going through the mirror because it just made a rock go away.
Could be a portal, darling. I know you're not used to these sort of things.
Everyone's a darling for some reason today.
I think
You
that's the
upset,
first time
Tony?
someone said darling since I've been here. I don't. Is that a thing you guys say? He says that like genuinely intrigued, like
Yeah,
you guys are strange.
yeah.
I just look back at the gnome and like give you a weird. I just stare at you and don't say anything.
I get it. You don't like me. Whatever.
No, it's not that I don't like you. It's just you speak a lot. That's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll get through this. Thank you for the help
Shadow
again with the
just goes
sloth.
like this. He's like, starts stroking his beard. Looks back at the sloth.
I rather like that you have the gift of gab.
All
In a
right.
while.
It's all right. Not everyone likes. He just like mumbles to himself.
Yeah, we're wasting time. I don't know how long we got. I look around. Is there anything that's like a stick or I don't know, something that's longer than it is wide? Basically
Like
something
a
to
10-foot.
hoist, something to hoist through the portal, the mirror, to see what happens.
I mean, not really. Like, there's a bunch of ritual ephemera on the table, but there isn't any like 10-foot pole you could use to.
Yogi, do you have a rope?
I do, but I really don't want to lose my rope. It comes in handy every once in a while. Do you have a rope?
Buy you another. I don't carry that with me. You know this.
That's
We'll
right.
tie something to the end of it, toss it in, and pull it back out. See if it comes out.
All right.
Or we could let fate guide us.
No, that sounds stupid.
Does he always talk about fate? What is wrong with him? I
No,
whisper to you.
this is new. He did lose his eyes though. I'm like tying something
Must
around
be
the rock.
shocked, the poor thing.
Probably. yeah.
Kalimat is
I
simply
can
speaking,
hear you.
he's simply speaking like a very pious man, right? Like fate is a like when Kalimat says like let's let fate decide, it's like the equivalent in our world, maybe a less cynical version of our world because the gods are not real here, but of someone saying like, well, I'm sure God has a plan for all of us, right?
Exactly.
So it's like that. That's a very common, like for the most part, Yoji is more cynical than your average person, but for the most part, Kalimat saying like, let's leave luck to heaven, right? Like let's let fate decide. People would nod like that was something sagely to say, like yes, of course, like right, that is the correct way of going about things.
Right. I'm still tying something around a rock or I don't know, something that was on the table that I can tie that's heavy enough to
One of the sacrificial knives.
Yeah, sacrificial knife. I'm tying a rope around it and I throw it through and hold on to the rope.
Pick up this ancient like bronze knife, tie a rope around it, and then spin it around and whip it in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it goes about like 15 or 20 feet in to the tunnel, and then fades right up to the point where the rock did, and then the rope goes limp and falls down. You lose about 10 feet of rope.
Okay. I pull the rope
Like
back.
you pull it. Yeah, you pull it back, and the end is just like perfectly cut off.
I'm not walking in there.
That looks like a one-way trip.
Yeah. And you also owe me 10 feet.
Oh.
10 feet of rope.
Well, then, I mean, It seems the only option is to turn around and go back the way we came and forget this whole place.
What?
I look at you without blinking, like you would think I was blinking.
He wants to go in, Yoji.
You want?
That's why we're here. The bell is in there. I heard it.
What is, pardon me, but what is this bell? Why is it important?
So yeah, so you don't know. I mean, make a history check, Shadrach.
Okay. I make the history check and I kill it and be like, you owe the bill.
Well, no, and that's the idea, right? Is you're like,
Yeah.
what is this bell you're talking about? And then your brain is like turning. And let's see. Nice. Okay. So I think what happens is, so it isn't that you're certain, but it's like you have the equivalent of what Yoji just had with you, where it was like, oh, the Easter Bunny, right? So like they're looking for the Bell of Dark Voices. It's a fell artifact of legend, supposedly carved from the iron bones of some like elder entity of evil, meant to summon darkness, meant to summon evil creatures, and then theoretically like enslave them. Again, you thought that it was a myth, right? This is like them looking for like Excalibur, but seeing what you saw here today, it's possible.
So it's a mythical, ancient, like legendary bell that is meant to enslave, like, and control dark creatures. That's essentially what you said.
Call forth darkness, and then theoretically like bend it to its will. But that's the legend, right?
It doesn't matter what the bell is. It's just something that we need. All right.
I feel like it matters a little bit if you plan on retrieving it or understanding it. Understanding an environment and situation is key, my dear boy.
Right. Do you understand the situation environment of the bell? Is that what you're saying?
Slightly, I've heard of it. If this is that, I mean, you thought I was a myth. I thought this was a myth.
Great. I look over towards Jadara. Great. Well, what do you know about the bell? We're errand boys. We're just sitting here to collect it and take it back. So anything you know would be useful in this situation.
So again, well,
Yes.
I mean, that's the legend. You know what I told you. It's hard to divide like reality from myth. If you got to see it, you might be able to. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know specifics, but I know that it's ancient and its power is legendary. It's meant to control and keep all sorts of dark creatures. I mean, look.
Yeah.
Before he was that, I mean, it does that. It controls things like of that power.
All right. Well, those were some hollow words for the most part. But thank you, I guess.
That'd be a very, very powerful weapon in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
Controlling demons.
It would.
Well, it doesn't matter whose hands it's going to be in because we're just giving it to someone and then wiping our hands clean. So let's just collect it and get out of here. And we'll put the sloth back inside the thing and get out.
The sloth. So before you get a chance to answer, the sloth yawns and opens his mouth really wide, and you hear a faint, like, tinkling sound of a tiny bell.
Did you hear that?
What? No.
I did.
Like a little tingling, like that.
From inside?
No. We have a bit of a problem, boys. I think it swallowed it.
Well, we're not going to cut that thing open, are we?
It won't help. We have to
If you
kill
do
its
that,
original form.
I wouldn't do that just yet.
Why?
Well, you saw what it was.
Yes.
I saw what it was. And, well, if you kill it in that form, it's just going to go back to the way it was. So.
Ah, fuck. So you're
I wanna
saying
think
okay.
One through a little bit. Listen, I helped the situation.
well,
Okay.
No,
Scary
if I
guy
may.
looked like he was gonna kill you.
You're
Well,
fine.
I don't know if it was a guy or not, but it doesn't matter.
You're fine. Kali, you want to say something?
Yes, I do. The bell sounded smaller since I heard it last, which makes me wonder if the bell is actually inside of this creature. There are ways to cut living things open without killing them.
Could also
Also, I could heal it along the way.
do we think it's maybe in? What if you put your?
I give the sloth a little shake.
Okay, yeah, it like grumbles and like clings onto you, so you're like peel it away from you. It doesn't jingle when you shake it.
Are you saying we're gonna have
Surely
to...
there are ways to keep it alive. I know there are. Well,
Wait.
Well-
Are you guys saying that we're gonna have to cut this thing open or kill it and get inside of it? Am I getting the gist of this correct?
no, don't kill it. Don't kill it.
Or it itself is the bell. It's not a thing.
That-
It's a creature.
That was my thinking as well.
Well, then there you go. You have the bell. What if you? Hold on a second. What are you going to do with the bell? Said you
Well-
not your problem. You're getting it for somebody. This is very dangerous stuff.
Yeah, we're errand boys. We're just giving it
I'd like to
someone.
know who's it going for before I get properly involved here.
What does that matter to you? Besides you wanting to know, you don't need to know.
No, but I'm here, and I feel like I'm well enough involved at this point. And if you're going to take this powerful legendary artifact to some crazy person, I don't want that to happen.
How long do we have before this thing turns back into whatever it was? Does anyone know? Can anyone fill me
Less
in?
than-
Doesn't it
Less
like
than an
Adam,
hour.
It's like
As I say, you
there's
got
no
about
control right now,
you got about like 52 minutes.
right? Yeah.
Okay.
I say as much.
I'm like, well, it's been we're like 50 minutes or so, give or take.
Great. Yeah.
Good amount of time.
Can we play it? Can we say it like D&D? Can we say like most of one turn of the glass, something like that, please?
God, use D&D talk. Don't use my real name.
You're killing my immersion.
Okay, you've got about the sun's there, and if once the sun's over here, then
Verily, counteth thou to 100, then counteth thou to 100 again, then again shalt thou count it. Count it again, and doeth that 50 more times. Just forget it.
Shadrick pulls out like this thing made of twigs that's like spinning around. Like,
Well, let me check my astrolabe. Whee!
My astro. Sorry for that diversion. I apologize.
No problem. That's good.
how far away is this? Where you're taking it?
It's a couple
Probably take
days.
longer than. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's my 2 cents, or I think
What's a
we
cent?
could definitely. I know,
Go
right?
please. Go please.
After that entire speech, right? I knew
Right.
someone was going to jump on it, but okay. What if we, since we have it here, is there a way that we could set a trap for it when it changes back? We have a little bit of time. All of my instincts are telling me that we have to kill this beast in order to obtain the bell. I don't think it's inside of it. That would be far too easy. I'm wondering what the porthole has anything to do with it.
I think the portal was its prison, and we broke it. So
Oh
Yeah,
yes, broke it. Oh, it's probably a portal to a hell of sorts.
sure, it doesn't matter where it goes to, but
I wouldn't recommend going in there.
yeah.
Well, can we ask the creature? If it will give us the bell?
It has
You
the
can
intelligence
try.
of a sloth right now. I don't think you can communicate with it.
Can anyone
Unless someone speaks to animals.
can anyone talk with animals? I know
We
some
got
people
some kind of druid around here.
Yeah, I've known some people that can do that before. It's not a
I
odd
do.
question. Great. You're coming in use again.
Now, okay, let's talk about this. So, what how do you speak with animals, Shadrick? How is that possible for you?
Are you asking me like are you just asking me the way?
Yeah, mechanically, like is it part of
speak with small
cuz
beasts, sounds and gestures. You can communicate simple ideas with small or smaller beasts, or simply, yeah. So
okay, and that's just built in because you're a gnome, right?
yep,
Okay. Cuz I was going to say you just can't cast another
racial.
spell.
nope,
Yeah, you just
it's
can't
a
cast
racial.
another spell. Yep. Okay, yeah, you can talk to the sloth.
I love
Well,
it.
please do ask him. I don't know. What did we say to it? But
Yeah, what do you want to say? It has to be pretty simple ideas. I mean, it's a sloth.
I ask it what it wants. It's a negotiation. Ask it what it wants for the bell. If it says nothing, then tell it we will kill it, or at least try to kill it. I mean, I think we have enough power to kill it. But if we can get the bell with minimal danger and risk to ourselves, then and give it what it wants a little bit in return, then I mean, what does it hurt to talk?
Fair enough. All right, let me at him.
And then Shadrick like walks over there, like kind of like
Okay,
hobbles
all
over
right.
there real quick. You see Shadrick before he's about to talk to him. Right
He's
before he-
curled. He's curled up like a furry. What do they call it? Like the thing you carry a baby in on the front, papoose. He's
Yeah,
curled
yeah.
up like a
Papoose,
furry
yeah.
papoose, hanging off Jadara's neck.
Yeah. So you see him go up there, and Shadrick kind of like assumes like the stature and stuff of a sloth, and he goes like. You see him like communicating, trying to get his attention, like.
yeah,
Hello?
as it's happening, I'm like, Kalimot, if you could only see what's happening right now. I'm just.
I don't
Is he
really know
acting
what
like-
noises sloths
and
make,
I-
but whatever noises the sloth like.
Yeah,
Well,
I just whisper back to Yoji like, is he acting like a sloth?
Yep.
Oh, describe it for me, please.
Nope.
So
Okay, I gotta use
sloths,
my imagination.
I just looked up a video of
Sloths- sloths make like they don't really like vocalize to each other, but they do make
Yep.
noises, and they make little like squeaking noises. Yeah. So
like that.
so Shadrick starts
Yeah.
making those noises, and obviously like we'll have a conversation in English, but imagine the subtitles under the like.
Yeah, Shadrick's doing like this stuff real slow.
And like lots of nodding and shaking of the head, slow blinking. Okay, so what do you say to this sloth?
First, it's
Hello there. I mean no harm to you.
And so the sloth slowly opens its eyes and like turns its little head towards you. It's like, hello.
Do you mean harm to us? These fellows? I understand they freed you.
It holds out a claw and it says, if only I could muster the energy, I'd eviscerate you all. But I'm so tired.
That's a yes then.
Shadrick like breaks out of it real quick.
He wants to eviscerate us all.
Great. Ask him if he wants to spend the rest of his time inside that mirror, because we'll shove him back in there.
Okay. Bit harsh, but I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah. Try to remember this thing was going. Try to remember the form of this thing.
Yep. Nope. Thinking about it. Very scary. All right.
Yeah.
He goes back to it. He's like,
If you want to live forever in that mirror, we can make that happen if you don't cooperate.
Make a deception check. because I don't think that you know that that's true. I don't think you know how to do that.
Yeah, I'm just conveying the message.
I think this is a bluff. Yeah, you're conveying it through Yoji.
Fuck!
Okay, what when you get do you still have your own mental stats? Nope, he has the mental statistics. Okay, so I mean he's already pretty dumb. What would be the insight of a sloth? Probably like I'm gonna give him -3.
What did I just make? I made a
Fucking nailed it.
just rolled.
Yeah,
Just rolled a 16.
You can't see it. I rolled a 16.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll fix it.
so he blinks at you and he says, "Your words are like the buzzing of so many pathetic gnats. Soon your light will be extinguished from the universe forever. 1,000 horrible curses upon you and your descendants and your descendants.
Yeah, he's not buying it. He really doesn't think we have the ability to do that. And he's going on about us dying and light draining from
All mortal life must suffer eternally
Hey,
under my
shut
awful
up.
talons.
Shut up for a second. Just shut up. I get it. You don't like us.
Shadrach,
Yes?
did you ask him what it? Did you ask it what it wants?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Wants
See
to
what it
kill
wants.
everyone. Wants to see the light drain from the world and darkness forever. That whole thing.
Ask him. See if he knows what see if it knows what the bell is. The bell. Focus on that.
I really don't think he's going to cooperate, but okay.
He goes back into it.
That
you-
terrible ringing you hear
Oh.
across the heavens is the sound of my glory, summoning my army here to do my bidding, whether awake or in
Shut-
nightmares.
Shut up for a
It's
second.
Eternal. Oh.
Thank you. So, what's the deal with the ringing, the bell? What's that all about?
It is the clarion call of all demon kind, a hallowed sign the end is coming. Know ye that upon hearing it, you are doomed. Ring, ring, great bell from darkness within me. Call forth my army.
He says it's a sign for all demon kind and that evil's coming and it's signifying his glory.
What?
And he's going on and on about it ringing and how great he is and how we're all going to die.
Well, that doesn't make sense. It's supposed to be a physical artifact. So
He could be lying or the
yeah,
legend's wrong.
maybe both.
This whole time while he's talking to you, he still has his like hands up like a sloth.
Yeah.
Jadar, you got any ideas? We're just gonna have to kill this guy, or just leave him as a sloth.
Well, fortunately we opened its prison door, and if we leave it here, it will just kill everything in the lands around here. We have to kill it. We can't leave it here.
Question.
And before he starts to speak further, Shadrach's thinking about the landscape in the area. Is there any really large cliffs nearby?
Yeah. There's like a cliff. There's a cliffside that emerges from the forest, like a couple of days travel from here.
Oh, days. Damn it. There's nothing like
It's
immediately.
definitely not within like 40 minutes run.
Well, there's that chasm that we came by, like we had to jump over and stuff.
So then he just goes for it and he asks, like,
I've seen a little bit of this land, coming over here, but he is a sloth. So what if we put him over a really large fall, very dangerous terrain, and then at the very least it would weaken the beast. I don't know if it can withstand a large fall or if any of that is. But if that's nearby, we need to get there quick.
Well, yeah, there's one just right up the steps. There's a giant chasm. How'd you get past that?
Some secrets are meant to be kept.
Right. There was some skeleton things at the end of it. We could, or at least, I think, I don't know. We could draw them down there if you want.
Maybe we could make a trap at the bottom, spikes? Something
No,
like
not,
that?
I'm not crawling down there.
Well,
I mean, with
if
am I the only one that...
if I may, what if we tied a rope around the sloth and then lowered it down, say about that much, and then when it became its true form again, it would expand into the rocks and be trapped there. Yes? It's enormous, right? It stepped over me like I was nothing.
It's quite big. I haven't seen this rock area that you're talking about in the chasm.
Yeah,
Didn't
no,
look
just
down
right
very
up the
much.
steps. We can just, it's
I
less
didn't-
than,
Yeah, so Shadrick, the chasm they're referring to is in the room before this one that was seemingly like wrecked by an earthquake. There's a big gap. It was easy enough for you to climb over, like hop over the gap, but it did seem to descend quite deep.
It's an idea.
well, I mean, if we're going to kill this thing, it's probably the best idea I've heard. It's just to drop it down that chasm and see what happens.
The only problem is we don't know exactly how far down it goes. So
What's the issue?
if you're trying to retrieve the bell, how are you going to get the bell if it's all the way down in the chasm? I mean, unless you have an idea. It's just an unknown. I'm speaking out loud, really. I do that a lot. Sorry.
No, I'm hoping to trap it, like to have it be squeezed between the rocks,
Right.
between the two sides of the face, so it'll be stuck there.
So it's not all the way falling down, you're saying.
Yes. Yes.
So it's more like sloth and then like that. Yes?
I'm just assuming that the chasm is wide enough.
What
A
if
lot of assumptions here.
what if we put it just inside the portal so that when it expands, half of its body is inside the portal and half of it's not, and it gets cut in half?
Well, what if it,
Like the rope.
yeah, no, I see what you're saying, but how do we know that this thing isn't just going to be able to survive in there?
We
What?
don't, but at least we would stand back and be able to shoot at it once it pops out of its form.
I like to look at the sloth. Does it have any, besides its claws and fingers, does it have like, no, a sloth doesn't really have ears.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it and it looks in every way like a sloth.
Is he still ranting and raving about death and destruction?
No, he's fallen asleep.
All right,
Like
look,
mid ramble.
this is going to sound a little harsh, but what if we tie a rope around it, I throw it in there and see what happens if it goes too far? I mean, it might just die.
But then again, the bell.
And it might charge at us, so we should be at the ready.
Right, yeah. I can be a little bit of ways and toss it in there, but I don't have any other ideas.
So, I mean, maybe if we want to like take our break there,
Yeah,
we're all
it's a good
standing
time to
around
take a break,
staring.
I think, yeah.
Everybody's standing around staring at the sloth, like, what the hell are we gonna do with this thing?
So peaceful in his sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like snoring attached to Jadara.
All right. Yeah, we'll take our break there.
Perfect.
What a weird
Excellent.
thing. What a weird thing. All right. We'll be right back with more Court of Swords.
What was sloth like? Just like just doom saying, like really slow.
Totally. Yeah, that's great. That's great. All right. We'll be right back with more Court of Swords right after this. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys on the other side of the show. See you then.